We are 4 hours away from knowing who will be the next quarterback of the Carolina Panthers.
That's right. Amanda Ferguson and Sean Higgins are in Kansas City today, and Jalen Gilkey is in Charlotte as draft night excitement builds.
But first, the rain is moving into our area. Tim?
Yeah, that's right. It's been raining already for a couple of hours, guys, and I'm expecting this to continue pretty much all afternoon and evening, and even more into tomorrow. We'll have your full forecast in just a few.
But first, we're on top of two big stories we're following today. A woman faces murder charges after Greensboro police say she killed her granddaughter. And a Stokes County community processes their grief after a high school senior dies in a car crash.
Another big story we are following this afternoon is breaking news. Another gun found at a Triad school. Rockingham County Schools says an 8th grader brought a gun and ammunition to Reidsville Middle School today. Investigators say they learned of the weapon when other students told a teacher. Police found the gun and confiscated it. No one was hurt or threatened, but that student has been suspended. School counselors and a crisis support team will be on campus tomorrow.
New details in a horrific child abuse case. Greensboro police say a grandmother abused and killed her 2-year-old granddaughter. The 59-year-old Ruby Thomas made her first court appearance just a few hours ago. An investigation began back on April 1st when officers got a call to her home on Othello Street. Police say a 2-year-old was found unresponsive after falling down the stairs. She later died at the hospital. Detectives found during the investigation the little girl was being abused. Her 5-year-old brother told detectives the grandmother pushed the little girl down the stairs. Court documents revealed the 2-year-old had rib fractures, over 50 contusions, bleeding on the brain, and other injuries. The 2-year-old also had lacerations and bruises all over her body. Police charged Thomas with first-degree murder and intentional child abuse causing serious bodily injury. Her next court case is May 26th.
Shock lingers all over a Triad community today. Stokes County Schools says senior Blake Hughes died in a crash yesterday. The district says Hughes played baseball and was on his way to the game when the crash happened. We spoke with State Highway Patrol about 3 hours ago. Troopers told us the crash happened on Highway 8 near Walnut Cove, but they could not provide more specific details at the time. Hughes went to Stokes County Early College and played baseball for South Stokes. He had plans to play baseball at Rockingham Community College after graduation.
In Alamance County, a middle school teacher is facing multiple charges related to indecent liberties with children. The sheriff's office arrested Ivan Ardilla Perez yesterday. He teaches Spanish and coaches soccer at Southern Middle School. Court documents show the victims were students at the middle school. In a statement this morning, the district wrote, "There is no greater priority than the health, safety, and welfare of our children." To that end, the Alamance Burlington school system is cooperating fully with the Alamance County Sheriff's Office as part of an ongoing investigation involving alleged misconduct by a Southern Middle School teacher.
Really want to make sure you know when it's going to be raining over the next couple of days, and that starts with right now. Over the last few hours, we've started to go from just cloudy to pretty wet, and that is not going to stop anytime soon. Start you on the wide view, and then we'll zoom in. Notice a big area of rain stretches from the Triad to Atlanta right now. You know yourself, that's about a 5-hour drive by car. So this is going to take a while. We're going to see a lot of rain over the next little bit. Right now, most of this is on the light to moderate side as it fills in across the Triad. And if we zoom in on our high resolution radar, you'll notice it's just rain. It's steady. There are no thunderstorms in here. It's going to be a cool, wet course of your afternoon and evening. Temperatures reflect that. It's in the upper 50s right now currently to right around 60 degrees. Pretty tough to be warm when it's this cloudy and wet, of course. Now, Futurecast does keep the rain around through this afternoon and evening, but overnight I'm actually expecting heavier rain to start to develop. So the heaviest rain we're going to see over the next few days will be overnight tonight and into very early tomorrow morning. And I mean early. This is 6:30 in the morning on Friday. Take a look. The rain is already through Winston-Salem and Greensboro, just getting done with it. So most of tomorrow is actually going to be dry. That's a change. The system has sped up a little bit. So tomorrow morning, mostly dry, midday to early afternoon as well. Now it's a 2-part day. This is where it gets confusing, so stick with me. You have that morning rain, and then again in the afternoon, the sunshine could cause a couple of thunderstorms to form. and those that do happen on Friday could be on the stronger side with maybe some hail. So 2-part day for Friday. The morning heavy rain ends pretty early by around 9 to 10 o'clock. We have dry weather for the middle of the day, and then by the afternoon, I'll be watching the radar for you for a couple of those stronger thunderstorms. They'll be scattered. Not everybody gets one, but if you do, you'll know it, and it could put down some hail. Saturday, a beautiful day for a change. A nice start to the weekend. Partly sunny. I've upped that high all the way to 77 degrees. Go ahead and plan something outdoors.
Tim, thanks. Rain or shine, anticipation is building for draft day. The Carolina Panthers had the first overall pick, and we will finally know who it is in a few hours. No surprise here, the top 4 prospects, all quarterbacks. Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, Anthony Richardson, and Will Levis. We've got team coverage of the big night. Amanda Ferguson is in Kansas City with Sean Higgins at the draft headquarters. Jalen Gilkey is at a Panthers watch party in Charlotte. Let's start there, Jalen. I'm sure fans all over are counting down the minutes until the draft opens.
Yeah, Chad, it's been a busy offseason for Carolina. Not only did they send DJ Moore to Chicago in return for tonight's #1 overall pick, but they signed a ton of veteran guys to the locker room on both sides of the ball. Now, as we anticipate a quarterback to be the first name called tonight, one name that made a huge splash here in the Queen City earlier this offseason is 2-time Pro Bowl wide receiver Adam Thielen. And earlier this week, we talked with Carolina's newest pass catcher about what role he'll play in helping develop the QC's newest QB.
But yeah, I mean, there's going to be a learning curve. It's right, it's the NFL. It's a lot different, but we're excited as leadership to help whoever it is, whether that be, it doesn't matter what position comes in here as rookies, like anywhere, right? You try to be a leader. You try to mentor, no matter who they are, what they are, and if they're playing or not playing. You try to mentor them, help them through some good times and bad times, and again, you try to focus on yourself individually and as a team.
Leadership and mentoring sound like the perfect landing spot for a young quarterback to start his career. The Panthers roster this year has been added ton of experience with 13-year NFL vet quarterback Andy Dalton also was added to Carolina's roster this year. So between the two, that's 23 years of NFL experience for our newest quarterback to lean on when times get tough. Now, as for here at Bank of America Stadium, the anticipation is beginning to build and the nerves are starting to fill the area. But we'll find out who the newest quarterback will be tonight at 8 p.m.
Well, Chad said we were at the draft headquarters, and that is not wrong. We were, but we actually moved a little ways away from Union Station because we said we have to try the barbecue here in Kansas City. We wanted to compare it and see what it was like here versus North Carolina. So we had Sean run across the street and get us some barbecue.
Yeah, I asked, I want to try Kansas City barbecue. We're from North Carolina. What exactly do I have to do that? And she gave us 2 things. She gave us some burnt ends right here. They look delicious. And then she gave us some brisket right over here. We all know what brisket looks like. So we're just going to go ahead and hop right in with the burnt ends, right, Amanda?
Yeah, we're going to do this first.
Amanda, I think, is going to go pure, but I'm going to take a little of this Southwest spicy sauce and put it in there.
Can't get anything on my white suit.
That's right. Amanda came dressed for a barbecue taste test in that pure white. Get all that messiness on there.
Which one was the honey barbecue or something?
This one right here.
Okay, I will try it.
That was pretty good. I like that burnt end. It was burnt-y, but not like charred. It was good. All right, now we're gonna go for some brisket.
All right.
And this one is for you, Eric Chilton. I'm gonna do the fire sauce right here.
Oh yeah, Eric Chilton loves spicy.
That is spicy. I wish Chilton was here.
Yeah, we wish you were here.
To see that. I know he's watching though.
All right,
he's watching.
Let's move to the sides. That's the good stuff.
Now this is something
in my
interesting.
opinion.
It's called fried cornbread. I know cornbread's already fried, but that's what they call it, and it looks good. Okay. All right.
Really good.
I would say 2 thumbs up, but North Carolina barbecue.
I guess, yeah, we have to say
that.
Better.
Smart answer. I gotta say, Amanda, that is a brave soul.
Good job.
Wearing that white suit, eating that
One
barbecue.
spill.
Not one spill.
Right? Well, she's not done yet. That was just for the on-camera part, right? Let us know how it went. But so I know that Jalen Gilkey is probably very jealous that Amanda is there because he's from Missouri,
yes.
so he knows St. Louis barbecue, but also
well, then
Kansas
he's already
City
tried the barbecue.
That's
He doesn't
true.
need that.
Yeah.
He already knows about it.
Yeah.
It's pretty good though. I prefer North Carolina. I prefer Western Carolina barbecue over it, but it's still really good.
I haven't had the Kansas City barbecue, but I'm gonna make my way there pretty soon.
Yeah.
I'm sure of it.
I don't really care how the barbecue is as long as they bring home a good quarterback for us.
Yes, because as we know, a QB is so important. They're basically the heart and soul of this team, make all the important plays.
And I think at this point, knowing that they get, you know, the whoever they want, there's not really a bad choice.
Yeah.
I mean, they have looked at all four of these. You know, you listen to the sports pundits around the country, and it's really come down to these four. So I cannot wait to see who they pick, because this team needs a little bit, some new leadership.
We need a turnaround. We need a turnaround, especially after this past season.
It has to be so much added pressure on the coaches knowing you get whoever you want, then you have to get them to perform.
I mean, think about the difference between the first team to pick and the third team to pick, right? Like, so the Panthers have had weeks to figure out who they wanted, whereas if you're picking third, you have 5 minutes to determine, okay, who do I want of the guys that are still left?
Yeah. Well, we'll be keeping our eye on that. We'll check in with those guys a little later. We'll be right back after this break. Today, the Good Morning Show crew and I visited Washington Montessori Elementary School for Read to Succeed. The students had the chance to be news anchors, do karaoke, and talk about how reading is fun and the key to succeeding in life. Our bi-monthly program has reached more than 500,000 Triad students in the last decade. You can check out the full highlights from Washington Montessori tomorrow on the Good Morning Show at 6 and 9. I gotta say, this was a great crowd. I absolutely love this program. And the kids, they're really on fire for reading. When I was going around asking them what their favorite books were, 2 students said, we read 8 to 10 hours a day.
Wow.
I said 8 to 10. I said, you beat me. I got to get on your level. But their energy is just infectious. I love it.
That's great. And so this wasn't your first one, correct?
No, this is my third one.
Okay.
So we do it bi-monthly and we switch in teams. So me, Christian, and Megan went out this morning.
And what would you say, knowing that you've done 3, is there something that's common between all 3? That, you know, was there just something that was like all 3 are very this?
Very common. So We do a karaoke section where we pick 2 children to come up. They pick their teachers and they have to pick a song to sing. Everyone I've been to so far, they always pick "We Don't Listen to Bruno." From, have you seen the movie? They just start screaming and going out of control, and they know the words by heart. I don't even know if they're reading the karaoke screen. Yeah, I can believe that because that was popular with the kids too. But it's such an exciting program.
One of the things that Megan said earlier today on the morning show is that their library for these kids that love to read hasn't had any new books in years.
Wow.
And so they are looking for anyone in the community that might have some used kids books to donate that the kids could get into.
Yes, that's always important. So if you're watching this, make sure you look into donating some books. As always, when I go to Read to Succeed, I always look to find another story at the school. And a recent survey found Black men make up less than 2% of the nation's public school teachers. 2 teachers at Washington Montessori Elementary in Guilford County are hoping to improve the numbers. I caught up with them to find out how they're impacting students both in the classroom and on the basketball court.
Also, make sure to look for your answer in the text.
So now add your total. So what's the amount of time that has passed? All right, good job. 1 hour and 25 minutes.
We all have had a special teacher that's made a big impact on our lives. I'm here with Mr. Perkins and Mr. Tolson at Washington Montessori Elementary School. So your principal tells me you 2 are the coolest teachers in school. Tell me a little bit about what you do here.
Well, my name is Mr. Perkins, and I'm a 4th grade teacher and teach all subjects.
I'm Mr. Tolson. I teach 3rd grade. I also teach all subjects.
Beyond teaching in the classroom, you both volunteer as basketball coaches with the YMCA League. Tell me how that experience has been working with the kids.
Well, the experience is a pretty great season. We started off rough, losing every game, but we won the last one, and we saw that translate into the classroom of never giving up.
Most definitely. It was a lot of fun to push them to kind of force themselves to be a little bit harder on how well they do and how well they go into the practices leading up to the game. So that way it translates also in the classroom, preparing for tests, preparing for homework and other classwork assignments.
Going off of that, working with them both in the classroom and out of the classroom, how have you seen their reaction to school then?
Well, what I've seen in the classroom, their reaction has been very competitive in the classroom. Now they want to be the best student like they were on the best court, and they want to win and be successful.
Awesome. And just lastly, tell me why it's so important to have male role models in the school system or Black male role models in the school system.
Well, I would say it's good to be able to see yourself in that type of position, you know, as a little Black boy coming up in the school, to see someone who looks like you, the same hair, same sense of style, same shoes. I think that builds them up to say, okay, well, maybe this could be something I could do, or maybe even something greater than, you know, just sports or rapping, you know?
And personally, I agree. Personally, I've never had a Black male teacher. I've always had good women teachers. However, sometimes I just couldn't relate to them. Having me relate to a young boy is cool that they can relate to me. We have certain conversations I couldn't have with, you know, my female teachers growing up.
Awesome. Well, you both are doing a fantastic job here, and we look forward to see what you all do in the future. So some great work that they're doing at the school. When I came into the classroom to get video, the kids were running up to me and they're like, we love him, we love them, they're so nice, we enjoy going to their class, and you can really tell that there is a connection there.
You know, I didn't have a male teacher until 6th grade, so I think that this is a huge deal that they're trying to do this.
Absolutely. I didn't have a male teacher till middle school, and I didn't have my first Black male teacher till 7th grade, and it was my typing teacher, and he was also the basketball coach, so you don't really see a lot of that representation. But it's so important because there is a relatability factor there.
Well, and I mean, teachers play such an important role in so many kids' lives. I mean, just, you can probably off the top of your head think of your 3 favorite teachers when you were in school.
Absolutely.
And it was decades ago. And you know, they played such a big role and just left such an impact on your life that it's so important to have good teachers.
Such an impact that I still talk to them today.
Yeah.
Yes,
I'm
absolutely.
Facebook friends with them.
Yep.
We're pen pals. We write postcards back
And now they
forth.
say you can call me by my first name. It's okay. You don't have
It's
to call
weird.
me
I can't
Mr.
do it.
Yeah,
No.
and I feel weird about that. I'm like, nah, that just seems strange.
Right,
You're Miss So-and-so,
absolutely.
Mr. So-and-so. But again, some great work that they're doing there. And as Ben mentioned, they're looking for books. So if you're interested in donating, just look for this story on our website. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. A little weather checkup for you. And yes, it's raining outside. You probably knew that already, but if you didn't, it's raining. Going to keep on raining for this afternoon and evening for that matter. And as we look on the wide view, there's a lot that we have to track across the south and the southeast over the next couple of days. We have a few different weather systems, some that are bringing some big problems to places like Florida right now. But the main system, the swirling low pressure area, is actually way back here in Oklahoma, just south of Kansas City, moving into Arkansas. And that's going to be the driver behind a lot of this energy moving our way. All I'm trying to say, it's going to keep raining for a while, okay? That's mostly going to carry us through tonight and into early tomorrow morning. Notice the time, though. The bulk of that heavy rain is pushing away by daybreak. So around 7 to 8 a.m., we're seeing it get out of here. Now, the problem with tomorrow is we get a lot of sunshine in the middle of the day. That low pressure area gets close, and that will cause thunderstorms. Some of the storms tomorrow afternoon could be severe with some damaging wind gusts, and certainly I'm thinking hail. Hail looks like a big threat with tomorrow's storms, more so than usual. The good news is that Saturday is going to be a beautiful day for a change with lots of sun and highs in the 70s. Futurecast for tonight, steadier rain through the overnight hours and kind of heavier rain early tomorrow morning, but it's done by 7 to 8 a.m. That's good news. There's your midday. We'll see some sunshine, and that does spark some of these storms, especially seems like to be Greensboro north tomorrow afternoon between 3 p.m. and 9 p.m. Be alert because a couple warnings might need to be issued for that hail and wind concern with those storms. Sunday, unfortunately, looks like a soaker. This is the day to do your laundry this weekend. Saturday is the day to grill out. Go ahead, do something because Saturday's been tough. At least your kid's soccer game won't get canceled this week for a change. Next week looks to be on the dry and still cooler side.
Okay, come on. Good morning.
That is an anteater, a clip growing viral online. Keepers at the Greensboro Science Center have a hard time waking up Eureka all the time. So they decided, you know what? We're going to show the world what a grumpy teenager this thing can be.
So funny and very, very relatable. I don't like being wakened out of my sleep. I remember in school, my parents turning the lights on if I wouldn't wake up when my alarm went off.
Yep.
Hated it. Hated it.
I never realized how much an anteater looks like a woolly mammoth until just now.
Oh, I don't even know what it looks like. When
I've
I
only
first saw
seen
the
cartoon
video,
versions of it, so seeing the video and how long the snout was, I said, oh, that's what it looks
I'm glad that they said in the post that it was an anteater, because if they would have just posted the video, I'd still be looking at it wondering what the heck is that? But that's a cool video. And like CNN did a story on it recently.
CNN did a whole package on it, and they were explaining that they have to wake Eureka up so, is it a she or a he?
I'm not sure.
So they can take their medicine in the morning, and they mix the medicine with avocado, and I thought that was so cute. But I just thought it was so relatable how when they would try to rub his or her ear, they would cover it up with their hand, because that seems so human-like to me.
Well, listen, we have some piles of ants in the backyard. Anytime Eureka wants to come to my house, please.
Yeah.
Oh, just so cute. Love it, love it.
Eureka better start paying attention. They're going to take away her cell phone.
Yeah.
Watch out.
We'll be right
You know
back.
those teenagers.
Right.
Oh, it's on. Here we go. Hey, I can hear myself now. Wonderful. How now, brown cow? How now, brown cow?
Welcome back to your 4 to 5. I'm Lauren Coleman here with the fellas today.
I thought you were going to start spinning some rap.
Oh, you know, I'm going to save that for later. Gotta do the raps and doses. But we got Ben Briscoe, we got Tim Buckley, and Chad Silver.
We got a full house today too, and weather. You're kind of the lead right now.
Yeah, not a sunny day.
Aren't you glad you're inside and not out right now?
That is pretty good, because right now it's soggy, and not only soggy, it's actually kind of soggy and chilly. So we're tracking that rain for you. In fact, let's get right into it. We have the radar, we have the technology to make sure you are in the know. So right now, this is what it looks like outside your window. We have things thick clouds and occasional rain and drizzle too. It's been going on for a couple of hours, and I got to tell you, it's going to keep on doing this for a while longer through the afternoon and into the early evening. Temperatures area-wide are in the upper 50s to right around 60, and notice those clouds are pretty steady along with us as well. The wide view shows a good area of rain, or a big one I should say, going all the way over to Georgia. So that rain is basically just going to ride up I-85 through this evening, and even more will redevelop by tomorrow morning, getting closer to our area. On a closer view, you'll notice most of this rain is light to moderate, but again, a steady soaking rain, something we haven't really had this week anyway. So it's not all bad, and thankfully it's not happening on Saturday again. That local view shows it's just going to stay the way it is for a while. Temperatures are currently in the upper 50s to right around 60 degrees, and they'll stay there as we go through tonight. Let's go through Futurecast. Notice how we go from greens to yellows. That means the intensity of the rain, the heaviness, is going up. So overnight, heavy rain is going to move into our area, but this is 7 a.m. Most of the rain is out of our hair by 7 and certainly by 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. That means even though you wake up to rain on Friday, you're pretty good to go without the rain gear through Friday morning, the midday, and early afternoon. The tricky part about tomorrow is there's another system we watch for the second half of the day. So scattered thunderstorms will be forming by 3 p.m., lingering through 9 p.m., and a couple of those could be severe. So we're talking about hail as probably the biggest threat for tomorrow, but also maybe a few damaging wind gusts. So it's a three-part day. The first part, heavy rain in the morning. The second part, dry weather at lunchtime. The third part, scattered thunderstorms that could impact your Friday night plans with severe weather. We'll be tracking it for you as always every step of the way. Just keep it with us.
Tonight's plans already being impacted. The Central Carolina Festival will not open tonight due to the weather. It was supposed to be the grand opening night, but now the festival will open tomorrow at 5. Hopefully the weather stays off then. Tickets are $6, kids 3 and under, 3.5 feet and under, and seniors get in free. So go out, enjoy the food, rides, games starting tomorrow. That festival will run through May 7th.
The date has been set for the opening of the Danville Casino. Caesars Virginia told us they plan on opening a temporary casino on May 15th. The major project has been in the works for years. The company will open a much larger permanent casino and resort in late 2024. This will bring thousands of jobs to the area.
There are some new high-paying jobs coming to High Point. Vecoplan says it's constructing its U.S. headquarters on Gallimore Dairy Road. The plan is to create 51 new jobs with an average salary of $85,000. The company already has an Archdale factory that makes industrial shredding equipment. And speaking of shredding, after years of pandemic cancellations, a popular News 2 event is coming back next week. On Wednesday, we are hosting a shred event at the Greensboro Coliseum Complex. A lot of people are expected. Just take a look at this video from 2019, the last time we held the shred. Now, because of this, you can only bring 3 boxes or bags per car to shred. The free event is next Wednesday from 4 to 7 p.m.
Great white sharks are among the most famous ocean dwellers, but a key detail about their lives has remained a mystery.
Yeah, for centuries, researchers have been unable to find the place where Atlantic Ocean sharks mate. Scientists might be on the verge of an answer.
And one of the places they are looking at is right off the coast of North Carolina.
A group called OSearch collects shark data and says it'll soon hit its goal of 100 trackers on sharks, each one followed in real time online. First, the team hopes to uncover one of the shark's best kept secrets, where they mate.
There's 9 white shark populations around the world, and no one has ever identified a mating site.
That seems to be one of the big missing pieces to this puzzle.
That's the last big missing piece, yes.
With centuries of people on the ocean, no one's ever documented this?
Well, this is a 400 million year old secret. The ocean's not going to give it up easy.
To collect the data and lure in the sharks and safely draw blood and even perform an ultrasound, all of this happened while the shark is awake and sedated. But the information they learned from these creatures could help to save the oceans.
They're the system manager of the ocean. As they go, the ocean goes. The ocean is 70% of the planet, provides us 2/3 of our oxygen, 100% of our water, and billions of people food every day. They are the guardians of our fish stocks. There's no future for us as humans if there's not a robust future for our large sharks.
Well, maybe if they're mating off the coast of North Carolina, they're too busy to bite anyone.
Yeah, that was what I was thinking. I'm like, do we want them closer? So.
Yeah, I mean, it is surprising. You know, you heard in that first soundbite there that someone said, how do you not know where, you know, you've been tracking these sharks, but apparently it's just a good kept secret.
They said, we want our privacy.
Yeah, right.
We don't want you to come watch.
Yeah.
But that's, have you guys ever checked out the OSearch website?
I have not.
It's creepy where the sharks are, like how close they get to us.
Yeah, but it's fascinating because you can click on each shark. They all have names. You can see just the specs, their size, and that kind of stuff. And then you can also see where they've been, and you can see how they migrate up and down the coast depending on the time of year.
Have you all ever seen a shark in the ocean in person before, whether it be close to land or just maybe you were on a boat or something like that?
I was scuba diving at the time. It was kind of terrifying. Not a great white, but a big shark.
Some countries you can scuba dive with the sharks.
Right, my sister did that.
Like in Mexico and different, places.
My sister went to South Africa and went into this cage underwater, and they put all this food around her, and the sharks were swimming around her while she was in this cage.
Brave soul. I don't think I could do it.
I would do it. So you guys are talking about some movies coming up here, huh?
Yeah, it is Thursday. That means it is time for a movie review.
This week, Manning Franks is reviewing a best-selling book adaptation.
It is a good one. Manning, tell us all about it.
On today's News 2 Reviews, we're flipping a few pages and doing our own critical reading of the film adaptation of Judy Blume's Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, a film that can truly be enjoyed by the whole family. Judy Blume is an author who has given voice to a generation of young girls with her highly acclaimed and best-selling literary works, from Tiger Eyes to Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. Full disclaimer though, I don't have a personal connection to Blume's books. I haven't read any myself. But still, a good movie is a good movie, and this adaptation of Are You There, God? Spoiler alert, it's a good movie.
Please, just do this one thing for me. Let me just be normal and regular like everybody else. Just please, 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 please.
Based upon the 1970 book of the same name, Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret centers around an adolescent girl named Margaret Simon as she and her parents move from New York City to the suburbs of New Jersey. As she closes in on her 12th birthday, Margaret begins to anxiously wait for puberty to hit. But couple that with a growing question about her own religious identity, and she's left wondering who she really is. Immediately, Are You There, God? Pulls you in with its whimsical and sincere nature thanks to the brilliant double duty of writing and directing from Kelly Fremon Craig. This film is genuinely funny and yet always remembers to bring the audience back into those intimate and universal struggles of faith, family, and finding yourself. Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret is without a doubt one of the most delightful films you will see all year. And don't let her age fool you. Abby Ryder-Fortson is a revelation. She carries this movie with such ease as she embodies the very essence of adolescent growing pains that all young people, especially young girls, go through. Fortson is supported by a dynamic cast that includes a multi-layered performance from Rachel McAdams as a mother redefining herself and her relationship with her daughter, as well as Kathy Bates as Margaret's loud and yet incredibly dear grandmother.
I read that when you don't have any loved ones around, your life expectancy drops drastically, but I've had a good run.
Are You There, God? Harkens back to coming-of-age comedies before it by hitting all the right notes you would find in a family film, like universal themes and deep characters, situational humor, and of course a story that can be enjoyed by any and everyone. Not gonna lie, I kinda wanna go see it again right now. I'm giving Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret a 2 approved. You can find it only in theaters.
I love how we all went, wow, when Manning said he wants to
echo.
see it again.
Oh, yes. It is such a delightful film. And coming up also in the 6 o'clock, I got to sit down with an extra in the film who's actually from Alamance County. So look for that in the 6. But for right the here and the now, this is such a good movie. It is so delightful. I use that word in the review, and I mean it. It is a delightful film that is fun for the whole family, but also it's poignant. And by poignancy, I mean it kind of destigmatizes something that I think a lot of girls go through when they go through puberty, and it kind of presents it as a way that's just kind of, normal.
It's normal. It's life,
normal.
and it should be talked about. No, I love that. This book was written in the 1970s, correct?
1970,
I
yeah.
love the costuming that I saw. It looked like we were actually in the 1970s watching it.
And Kathy Bates. Any movie with Kathy Bates, I'm going to go see.
She's absolutely delightful. She's a scene stealer in the movie, obviously, because the part in and of itself is scene stealing. But it's just really overall a fun movie. You don't have to. You can be small. You can be older. You will love it. I almost guarantee that.
And Judy Blume is so popular. She's written a lot of popular children's books, teen books, and adult books.
I haven't actually read any of her books. I'm not sure if y'all have. I know you had mentioned you
Yeah,
possibly
we were
have.
talking about it.
Yeah.
I can't remember specific titles, but I know when I was in elementary school, she was big on the children's books.
You know, and I've seen you review a lot of movies, and I can't remember a time when you have given a movie this high of praise.
I think overall, I just had such a delightful time. I had no expectations going in whatsoever. Like, I don't think it's the best movie ever made, but for what it is, if this movie knows what it is and it wholly embraces it, hook, line, and sinker.
One of the things I like about you as a critic is you factor in the feeling that you take away from the movie so much.
Absolutely.
Not a lot of critics do that, and I think it's helpful.
It's something that I think, because, movies are intellectual, but they're also feeling driven, so.
Great review. I'm going to go
Thank you
see
very
it because Manning said he wants to see
You
it
should.
again. So I know it's got to be good.
We'll be right back.
Then run in there.
No, I'm thinking, what if after this hit, I run in there? Hey, Jimmy Buckets, mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can he make it like this throughout the rest of the playoffs? Oh, wait, I do have a question. Could the producer just look really quick and tell me what that VO is so I know what I'm kind of talking about? Thanks. Just generic? It's just fans, or is it like anything to reference? All fans, okay. Yeah, he does. He can hear you. Can you?
Yes.
Yeah. What is that guy's deal? He's not good.
The countdown continues. In just a few hours, the Carolina Panthers will pick their new quarterback. The team is ready, and so are we here at WFMY News 2. Amanda Ferguson is live in Kansas City with a taste of the action ahead of tonight's NFL draft. Hey, Amanda.
Hey, Lauren, we are just outside of Union Station where the NFL draft will be here in Kansas City. Welcome to Draft Day. This is a huge moment coming up in just a few hours for the Carolina Panthers, getting ready to take their #1 pick. They are on the clock first at 8 p.m. today. Now, earlier today here in Kansas City, we were at the NFL Fan Experience. You can see people behind me. That's where they are probably walking to because they have to go all the way around to get inside there. Now, this is a look at what was inside that area. area. There were a bunch of team helmets. Each team was also represented with some jerseys. There were different games to play. They actually asked me if I wanted to do the 40-yard dash, but wasn't really dressed for that. So I passed on that, but a lot of fun, a lot of fans out there. And even with not Panthers fans, there was a bunch of Panthers fans out there, but even just fans in general of football, everybody's talking about the #1 pick. Everybody can't wait to find out who that will be. Now, as for the Panthers, they know who they're going to take, but they didn't this entire time. General Manager Scott Fitterer and head coach Frank Reich did not talk about who they wanted for much of this process. They wanted this thing to play out, and they did until earlier this week when Scott Fitterer went into Frank Reich's office and told him and asked the big question, who do you want? Here's how it went down.
You know, it's kind of like a proposal of sorts, you know. And I said yes. No, there is consensus, and we're excited.
We're going to go try to get back into Union Station, try to get back into the draft area. But coming up tonight, we will find out who the Carolina Panthers take with the #1 pick.
Amanda, I have chills just thinking about it, looking at all those fans piling into that area behind you. It's going to be an exciting couple of hours. Thanks, Amanda. Well, while we wait for the clock to start, let's connect the dots on the history of the draft.
One of the most popular events on the NFL calendar kicks off tonight. Let's connect the dots. Before the annual draft, players were free to sign with any team. This tended to make the stronger teams even stronger, creating an imbalance across the league. The first draft, all the way back in 1936, had 9 rounds. That was expanded to 10 rounds and then 20 rounds. The draft became the battleground between the National Football League and the American Football League. The rival leagues held separate drafts through 1966 before finally merging together. In the decades since, the draft has evolved into what we see today. 3 days, 7 rounds, 224 picks. Now, one of the most popular events on the NFL calendar, the draft attracts huge audiences, both on TV and online, and has proven its value in building and sustaining successful franchises. And that is connecting the dots.
We are all over the draft tonight. Stick with us for all of your draft coverage. We have the highlights. Once the name is finally called, it'll be up on WFMYnews2.com and WFMY News 2 at 11. Make sure you sign up for our app so you don't miss the push alert once it happens, too.
Have you ever wanted to be on The Price is Right? Of course you have. A North Carolina man wanted to be on it so badly, he decided to keep trying even after he was rejected. After 40 rejections, Doug Ash finally got his wish.
The phrase "never give up on your dreams" is often used to inspire people. For Doug Ash, his dream was to make it onto The Price is Right.
I have gone out there 17 times and been there 41 visits, and I finally made it the 41st try. Earlier this year I was picked as one of the 20 top superfans and was at the superfan show and didn't get picked, and they invited us back out.
Ash grew up watching the show as a kid and couldn't believe he was finally picked.
I didn't hear my name, actually. They put your name on this board and they hold it up, and that's when I seen it, and that's why I looked so shocked. Usually by that time, I haven't been picked. I just figure, I'm not going to get picked again, and that's how I felt. And then when I heard my name, I was just elated. I just couldn't believe it.
He made the show on February 6th, but had to wait until Tuesday, when the show aired, to tell his friends and family how he did. So, he decided to host a watch party. Although Doug didn't make the Showcase Showdown, he did come away with some prizes and told us what he plans to do with them.
I got a very nice laser printer and a computer and a scooter and a home purifier, and I'm going to donate most of that to East Palestine, Ohio. That's where I'm from, where the train wreck was.
Oh, he looks so happy. He looks like such a nice guy.
Such joy.
He lives in Wilmington, actually. But how crazy to think that after 40 rejections, you finally get your shot.
This actually reminds me of a documentary on Netflix called The Perfect Bid, and it's about a guy who kept auditioning over and over, but he actually memorized all the prices and found a loophole because he had been watching since he was a kid. So when I saw this, I was like, this kind of reminds me of that documentary.
Crazy. And how wild that he couldn't tell anybody for months.
I know.
Because he had to wait until
that would be hard to keep close to your chest, especially like if people are like, you should audition. I did, I made it, but you can't say anything.
And props for him for donating to the people in East Palestine, Ohio, where he's from even.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really cool.
Shows his character, how great of a guy he is.
Absolutely.
All right, Tim Buckley, come on down. What's the weather going to be for tonight?
Yes, that's right. Thank you, guys. Do I get a prize for doing the weather? Maybe
this weather.
Okay, fair enough. All right. Maybe a little blender or something like they do on The Price is Right. There is some rain currently. It's going to continue to rain as we go through this afternoon and evening pretty steadily. Nothing terribly heavy at the moment, but at least a light to moderate rain will continue to happen from now through the rest of our evening. Temperatures are cool. They have been all day. We've actually cooled down after the rain began. We're currently in the upper 50s outside. Now the Hoppers have a scheduled game. I'm sorry to say, not sure about this one. You probably want to check with them before you head out. Showers will continue. First pitch is supposed to be at 6:30. Scattered clouds and rain will continue through tonight. Look at 2:45 in the morning. That's the really heavy stuff, but the heavy rain ends early tomorrow. It'll be out of here by around 7 to 8 in the morning, but that's not the full picture. By the middle of the day, we have dry weather, and then scattered thunderstorms are what we are watching for Friday afternoon. A couple of those could be strong to severe with damaging wind gusts and hail. Pretty confident hail will be in those storms tomorrow afternoon, and we will track it for you here on News 2. For the rest of the forecast, beautiful Saturday. Stick around. News 2 at 5 is coming up next.
Yeah, so like
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Hey, what's up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
You want it's just at where the purple is.
All purple.
Yeah.
So me, more a W, and Lauren
Yeah.
add a little bit.
And then go on the other side.
Okay, let's go check on. Hey, girl.
One, two, three, 3, 2, 1. We're on top of 3 big stories right now.
Mic check, mic check, mic check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Did you get it?
Yeah, I got it. It wasn't bad. Mic check 1, 2, 3. Finally got my credential. Let's go.
Kayana, we are less than an hour and a half away from opening the gates here at Bank of America Stadium for the fans.
36-year-old Ivan Ardila Perez, charged with 4 counts.
I recently got to meet my new nephew, Benjamin, and it was a very special moment. I went home to Wisconsin over the weekend and got to hold him for the first time. He's less than a month old and so small. You don't realize how tiny newborn babies are until you hold one. They seem so fragile and helpless. Then before you know it, they are full-grown adults. It's also sad to think so many people have such a difficult time trying to have kids. No doubt you know someone who's gone through the heartache of being infertile or going through a miscarriage. I've had plenty of friends who've been in that boat. I feel so helpless when they've shared that news. What can you do or say to help them? I offer words of encouragement, a prayer, and a shoulder to cry on if they need it. It's great to see there are so many advancements in science to help people have children, but then you think about the cost to go through these procedures. Only a certain segment of the population can afford to shell out tens of thousands of dollars for only the possibility it'll work. I don't have a solution, maybe just a reminder that creating a new life is not a guarantee, but a gift that should be cherished.
We're on top of 3 big stories right now on WFMY News 2 at 5 o'clock. A triad 8th grader caught with a gun and ammunition at school. A middle school teacher and coach charged and accused of preying on students. And a high school